Service. 2015 looks even more exciting. You know, the questions are out there. Does Carl Froch come back? Does he finally get his dream fight in Vegas against a Chavez Jr. or whoever? What's going to happen with James DeGale? He's #1 contender. Does he get his chance sooner or later in 2015? He will get it in 2015. What's George Groves going to do? Is he going to go the WBC route for modest money in a tough fight against Durrell, which he may not win? Or does he stay on the domestic scene and help us, help be part of this mega rivalry with DeGale, Groves, Callum Smith coming up on the outside, a very talented youngster? There's an awful lot of activity. We're looking at the middleweight division as well. He's very, Paul Smith going back to Germany, try and right the wrongs against Arthur Abraham. Tough fight, tough call. The return of Rocky Fielding, the undefeated fighter from Stockwell. And he's going to be back in action. And of course, the one I think is probably going to be more relevant to the mega fights, Kell Brook, who's gone the hard way. I mean, he's had some ups and downs in his career, hasn't he? He's gone the hard way. He's still he's 33-0. That 0, for those that don't know, it means unbeaten. That's a huge saleable value. He's gone to America and he won it in the home, the other guy's back garden. And he's destroyed a fighter that equally destroyed Devon Alexander, that everyone's getting excited about, with Imran Khan beating. Amir Khan, Imran Khan, I think he plays cricket. So Amir did a good job on Devon Alexander, but the form line is like looking at racehorses. Alexander got scored by Poulter got scored by Brook. But the easy way around now, the fight that we're looking for, is obviously Brook and Khan. Everyone's sitting there saying, oh, I want to fight Mayweather. Trust me, my dog wants to fight Mayweather, because he knows it's potentially a big payday. Two things to point out. One is Mayweather's not going to fight Amir Khan. He's more likely to fight Kell Brook because he's more credible. 0 losses, a reigning world champion. Khan is 3 losses and no belt. But actually, the truth is, both of Brook and Khan would earn more money fighting each other than fighting Mayweather.
So is that going to happen?
It happens if Amir Khan, I think it stands a chance of happening. I wouldn't put it wrong with that. Amir Khan is in a little bit of an ego delusional state at the moment, thinking he's the second coming of welterweights, when, as I say, he's got 3 losses and you can't take them away from your record. He's a good fighter. He's getting better. Can't punch, but he's quick. So his new trainer's doing a really good job on protecting his chin. I'm impressed. Does it happen? I think when we hear that Mayweather will fight Pacquiao, which I believe will happen in early June, then the Mayweather fight's not on for this year, because the time Mayweather wants to fight again, it'll be Ramadan, and Amir Khan obviously, respects his religion quite rightly and not available. There is a date, however, just before Ramadan starts, called June the 13th, where we just might have Wembley on hold for some type of mega fight, and I don't know which way it's going to be. It might be Amir Khan and Brook, if the two of them are sensible and realise that this game is about making money, or it might be Froch in a big outdoor fight. It's probably a bit early for Joshua, to be perfectly honest with you, although I can see Joshua Fury happening towards the end of 2015, and I think that'll be a very big fight. So lots and lots to play for. DeGale, Groves will be coming into the mix. Quigg, Frampton, maybe. I really fancy Frampton to get beat by Quigg. I think that's a great fight, and Frampton's a big favourite, so it's an interesting one. And Barry McGuigan's got his boy, and we've got ours, and that's what makes fights. Everyone really believes that they're going to win. There's a lot of other interesting fights for kids on it, like Jamie McDonnell, the world champion there, looking for a big fight in America. Little Brian Rose might have a little surprise coming quite soon, which is nice for the kid from Blackpool. Lots of talent. Luke Campbell, the year that we're going to put the foot down now on Luke Campbell. He's 28, time to accelerate. We think he's got the ability now. He'll be fast-tracked in 2015. Him and Coyle outdoors in Hull in July. That'll be an interesting domestic clash within the whole area. So there's a whole load of scenarios and stories out there that may or may not happen. A lot of what I've said won't happen because that's boxing. But along the way, we're going to have some very big fights.
This has been a particularly easy interview because I actually haven't asked any questions.
No.
You've you've answered them all before I've answered them. But there is one, and that question is this: Matchroom Sport, Matchroom Boxing have put together one of the most impressive boxing stables of fighters in the history of British boxing.
Yeah.
As a fan, as someone in the lower reaches of the sport, it's an unbelievable stable.
Yeah.
The question that a lot of people have is, are there enough TV dates for the boys?
Well, it's a good question, and the answer is there never can be enough. I mean, in America, Al Heyman's buying up every fighter.
and they're not fighting.
And every TV network, and he still hasn't got enough work for his fighters. We find it's a cyclical thing. At the beginning of the year, you think you're okay. Coming up to the summer holidays, you realise there's an awful lot of people got to have a fight. You've got to be straight with everybody, and you've got to be very, very, excuse me, careful about who you sign. It's not about signing everybody, it's about signing the best. So, I think we could do with a few more TV dates, and that decision will be Sky's. At the moment, excuse me, we've got 20 shows a year. I could do with 24, 25. The call is Sky's, but we're doing a good job. They're making money on pay-per-view. We seem to both be pulling in the same direction. I wouldn't be surprised we sit down in January or February. There may be a little bit more leeway on that.
Barry, thank you very much for the interview.
Pleasure.
You give us a lot of excellent information, and I think the people that are watching this, don't forget, you heard it here, possibly first, that Amir Khan might be fighting Kell Brook in Wembley in June, just prior to Ramadan. Barry Hearn, thank you very much.
Pleasure, my friend. Thank you so much.